Hi everyone. Welcome to the third lesson on probability. And what we're going to be tackling today is the previous example that was literally shown on, or given out rather, on lesson number 2. So that's basically today's agenda. We are just going to solve the question that has been stated below as: if two fair die are rolled together, what is the probability of obtaining a total of 4, B, a number greater than 4, C, a number divisible by 4, and lastly, a number which is a multiple of 5. So what you need to always keep in mind is that when you have been given a question like this, you need to start off by laying down your sample spaces. So in solving the already stated above question, we need to start off by asking ourselves that if we are going to be rolling two dice at the same time, and we being asked to find the probability of getting a total which is literally equal to 4, what that means is I have to draw my rectangle, put up all the sample spaces for die 1, which is me just writing your number 1 all the way to your number 6, that is for die 1. And then on the other end, we're going to do pretty much the same thing. Put your sample spaces for your die number 2. This is an easy way of doing it such that you do not miss any combinations. But if you feel like this does not work for you, well, you can always do it any other way. But this works best for me. So here we're saying that the first combination is, it's possible that I might just get a 1 on die 1 and a 1 on die 2. So if I add the two faces, I am literally getting a 2. Then if I can, for example, get a 6 from die 1 and get a 5 from die 2, it means the total of the two faces is going to give me 11. Hence, you will see that I am adding the sample spaces that are on the horizontal together with the sample spaces that are on the diagonal. That is for all possibilities. So keeping all that in mind, well, we're just going to complete the whole table and put all the 36 possible combinations or 36 possible outcomes of this experiment. And then going back to our first question, it was saying, can you calculate or give the probability of me obtaining a total of 4? So due to the fact that they asked for a total, that is the reason why we got to be adding the sample spaces, or rather the faces of the die from die 1 and those from die 2. And you can see that we only managed to get 3 4s. That's a combination of a 3 1, a combination of a 2 2, and a combination of a 1 3. So due to the fact that those are the only 4s that we got, it means we first have to define our sample event, which in this case is going to be a total of 4. So a total of 4, it's 3. And then what is going to be the total for the whole experiment, like the outcome of it, it's going to come down to be a 6 by 6, because we are supposed to be having 36 possible outcomes in total. That is where now it comes down to say that the probability of that in its lowest term, it will be 1 over 12. So that is the answer for the first. Also, take note of the fact that if the question could have said a multiple of 4, if it were multiples of 4, you were not going to be doing additions right at the top. You are mainly going to be doing multiplications, where I'll say I'll multiply the face of die 1 together with the face of die 2. So usually the first question, it gives you a directive as to how you go around in solving it. So due to the fact that it said a total of 4, it means I'm basically going to be adding the die 1 faces and the die 2 faces. Then the next bit was saying you need to get the probability of a number that is greater than 4. So if it's a number greater than 4, it means it's everything starting from 5 going all the way to 12. So it's quite easy for me to count the numbers that are less or equal to 4, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 6 items. Therefore, I can still subtract This is me making use of the complementary probability, the one that we said instead of you going to be counting the number of items below, why not count those less? And then we less from the 36. Hence, it's going to be 30 over 36 in its lowest terms. That comes down to 5 over 6. That is the probability. Also, note that it said greater than 4. There was no greater or equal to 4, because that's another mistake that you might make. It's not greater than and equal to 4. If it was written as greater than and equal to 4, therefore we're going to include the 1 over 12 that we got prior. Then moving on to your part C, it's saying that find the probability of getting a number that is divisible by 4. So it means we're going back again to our sample space, and we're saying that which of these are divisible by 4. 12 is divisible by 4. All the 8s that you can see there, they are all divisible by 4. And even 4 itself, it is divisible by 4. So if you are to add all those, it means at the end of the day, we are going to be having how many items? On our sample space, it comes down to 9. Therefore, it's 9 divided by the 36. Remember, we always leave our answers in its lowest terms. So I believe this is pretty simple. So moving on to the very last, nothing is going to be dealt in a very much different manner. We're pretty much going to be doing the same thing. So now it's a number that is a multiple of 5. So if it's a number multiples of 5, you ask yourself, who are the multiples of 5 that I can see there? Multiple 5, it's the 5s and the 10s. So the question is how many 5s are appearing there and how many 10s are appearing there. You get to divide by 36 and you are sorted. So if you're going to be calculating anything that deals with two faces, it's always simpler for you to put it in a tabulation. Get the totals, the multiples, whatever the question has been asking you to do, and then you put down the numbers. Make sure that you do it this way such that you do not miss any items or any combinations from our sample spaces. So keeping the same notation as to how we managed to solve the first question, you pretty much have to do the same thing for question number 2. So you're going to be having 5 aspirants from party AA and 5 aspirants from party AB. So take that to be similarly to your die 1 and to your die 2. Come down with a tabulation. Due to the fact that your question number 1 is saying the sum of their votes. The sum of their votes, it means I just have to add the votes from the 5 aspirants from party AA and the 5 votes from the aspirant A coming from party AB. Then when you have done that, for the first question, the sum of those that should be greater than 80. I think that is pretty straightforward. You're supposed to get vote of aspirants from party AB greater than the vote of aspirants from party AB. That is impossible, so the answer there is a 0. So that's just about it. So if you manage to get this, I think you are pretty much ready for the exercise that we're going to be doing this coming Friday. So you need to make sure that you turned on to Moodle. There are questions that you need to answer. Pretty much the same format, and without much, we are going to just proceed to the next lesson when we meet. So if there are no questions, I think we can definitely call it a day. Thank you.